This must be the most boring piece of tech I own, and it might be the best thing I've bought for reading in years. Let's talk about the Kindle. I want to talk about the most boring piece of tech I own, and I mean that as a compliment. No hype, no updates every 6 minutes, no Pro Max Ultra version. It doesn't try to change your life, it just lets you read. That's it. And weirdly, that's exactly why I love it. Because in 2026, where everything is loud and glowing and trying to sell you something, the Kindle is basically just a quiet little rectangle thing that says, "Here, books. Now leave me alone to read." So if you've ever wondered, do I need one? Is it just a tablet or is it worth it? This is not necessarily a tech review. This is just a normal person's guide to the most practical reading device ever made. I'm Darv James, this is the Bald Book Geek, and if you want to support this channel, you can do it multiple ways. You can leave a comment, you can like, you can hit that hype button and subscribe, or you can join channel memberships, Patreon, Substack, even buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. And coffee is life, right? Because coffee. Okay, what is a Kindle and what it isn't? First, let's clean this up. A Kindle is not an iPad. It's not a phone. It's not a mini computer. It doesn't do a million things badly. It does one thing well. It shows words. That's the entire pitch. There's no social media, no notifications, no breaking news, no message popping up while you're mid-sentence. It's just you and the book, which feels surprisingly peaceful, like technology from an alternative timeline where everything gets less stressful or didn't get stressful to start with. And here's the part people really don't understand until they see it in person. It's not a normal screen, it's e-ink, which basically looks like paper. Not paper-ish, actual paper. Matted, flat, no shine, no glare. You know how your phone feels like a tiny light bulb blistering your eyeballs at night? This is the opposite of that. It reflects light instead of firing it in your face at light speed. So reading feels exactly like reading a book. You kind of forget you're even holding tech, which is honestly the best compliment I can give. And here's something important. You don't need the fancy one. I use a basic Kindle, the cheapest one imaginable. Well, it does exactly what it says on the tin model. It has a screen, it has an optional backlight, a battery, and storage. That's it. No bells, no whistles. It turns on, it shows books. It behaves itself. Perfect. I like my reading devices the same way I like a kettle. Press button, job done. Don't argue with me. And I'm going to say this feels slightly unreal to say out loud. Mine has 4 gigabytes of space, which sounds tiny in modern tech terms. But for books, it's huge. You can literally fit thousands of books on this thing. No exaggeration. Thousands. Entire series, classics, random stuff you grab because it looks interesting. All of that. In something thinner than, well, most notebooks. It's like carrying a small library in your coat pocket. Every time I remember that, I still feel like I'm cheating a little bit. Here's another myth that I hear a lot. People think you're trapped to buying everything from Amazon. You're not. Anything in the public domain is free. Writers also give away books completely free. There are other places to buy books. Project Gutenberg, and I'm a huge advocate for Project Gutenberg, alone has more books than you'll ever finish in your lifetime. You just download the file, drag it into the Kindle, boom, done. You can also buy ebooks from loads of other stores and keep the files yourself. On your computer, on a hard drive, on a USB stick. It's not streaming, it's ownership. Very straightforward, very old school in the best way. And this is where I prefer my Kindle. Travel. Because I love books. I love a good paperback, I love a good hardback. But I don't love packing them. I don't love travelling with them because books are heavy, like surprisingly heavy. You put three hardbacks in a bag and suddenly you're training for a strongman competition. The Kindle solves that instantly. One tiny device. Every book you will ever want. Quite literally fits in my coat pocket. Done. No choosing what you want to read, no wait, no I hope this one is good because I've only bought this one book. It just makes travel easier. And the older I get, the more I appreciate anything that makes life simpler. Practical stuff. They're light, they're tough, the battery lasts forever, like weeks, not hours, weeks. You charge it and forget about it and just read. Get a cheap cover and you're sorted. You don't need to be fancy. This isn't jewellery, contrary to what many of the reading starter kits tell you on YouTube. It's a tool. And look, I still love physical books. Shelves, covers, special editions, nothing replaces that. But the Kindle isn't about replacing books, it's about convenience. It's the difference between I'll read this later when I'm home and I'll read it now while I'm waiting for the train. It removes that friction. And when reading is easier, you just read more, which is kind of the whole point. So yeah, no big dramatic sales pitch. No tech jargon. It's just a simple device that quietly does its job really well. It doesn't demand your attention, it doesn't demand constant clicks, it doesn't try to be clever. It just hands you a book and gets out of the way, and honestly more technology should be like that. If you love physical books, keep them. If you travel, commute, or just want something easy, a Kindle might be the low effort upgrade you can make. Not exciting, not flashy, just useful. And sometimes that's exactly what you want.